Hey Railbirds, welcome to the 2025 Super Billiards Expo. This is the Diamond Open Professional Players Championship. This is a round one match. Oscar Dominguez versus Frankie Hernandez. Oscar from California. Frankie from New York. Both players have a frog rate over 700. Should be a pretty good match. I'm your host, Kevin Ross. I will be joined by Karl Boyce in just a couple minutes. He had to grab himself a coffee before stepping into the commentary booth, so he'll be running along shortly.
Will be in compliance with the WT format that they
Just having a little bit of a discussion about where the two ball needs to be, looks like.
So either those three positions, okay. Also, as far as the break, it is required to be a forceful break. That's a big since players meeting, so everybody is definitely forward.
So this is a World Nineball Tour ranking event, playing by their rules, which is 9 on the spot, breaking from the break box. This is a race to 10. It is alternate break, rack your own. And we are using template rack. So this is Frankie at the table with a look at this one. Just a slight overcut. This is a first round match. There will be some opening game jitters, and opening match of the tournament jitters. So plus I think these are new tables with new cloth. Although it does look like there might be a little bit of wear to them. Maybe these tables were brought from another tournament with some wear on them already, possibly. Alright, I think Karl has purchased his coffee and has stumbled his way into the commentary booth. Are you there, Karl?
Yes, I am. Welcome back to the action.
Yes, welcome back to the action. You brought a coffee for both of us, right? I told everyone you had to get a coffee on your way in.
Yeah, it's in the post. It will be with you shortly, Kevin.
Alright. So we have Oscar Dominguez at the table, former Mosconi Cup player for Team USA. Oh, and by the way, I am being joined by the one, the only Mr. Karl Boyce. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, Karl.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, Kevin. Thanks for having me, and I hope everyone's enjoying the action. This is day one of the Super Billiards Expo Professional Players Championship. Kevin, has this match started?
Yes, we are underway.
Because Oscar's got the earbud in his ear. I'm taking it that's allowed. It's in the rules.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, you are right. He does have that in there. So I know most tournaments that's not allowed. At Derby City, they make an exception. They do allow it at Derby City, but of course we're not at Derby City. So I don't know. Maybe they're maybe the Derby City is kind of influencing the Super Billiards Expo a little. Maybe their practices are rubbing off on them a little.
Okay, fair enough. Well, he's not got on the orange 5 ball correct here, has he? He's lost his cue ball.
Yeah, he can't see enough of the 5 to cut it in. He can only see enough to play this combination. Wow. Or I guess he was just playing safe the whole time.
Yeah, and the safety has gone drastically wrong. I believe Frankie can get through to the 5 ball here. Frankie Hernandez, New Yorker.
Yeah, from New York. I've not seen Frankie play before, so this will be a first for me.
Yeah, I've known Frankie a good few years, good 8 ball player, but I've not seen him on the pro scene for a long, long time.
So maybe this will be his comeback tour.
Yeah, and if it is, this is just the start he wanted here, because Oscar's made a mess of rack 1. As you can see, he gets on with the game, he plays basically on pure instinct. Very attacking.
Doesn't look like he wastes a lot of time. Oh my goodness.
Oh, no, has he fluked it in the side? Oh, it's hit the cue ball. What a mistake that is in rack 1.
I was saying, doesn't waste any time, but maybe he could have wasted an extra couple seconds on lining up that 9. Oscar Dominguez taking advantage of that miss. 1-0.
Yeah, that's got to hurt. I suppose he's going to have the break in rack 2, alternate break. So obviously he's racking the ball, so he'll break in rack 2, but it's so difficult to forget about them mistakes. I know you've got to, but you can see his face, look, his head shaking. He's thinking, how did I miss the 9?
Yeah, I think I've had that look on my face quite a few times. So we all know that feeling.
Yeah, we all miss balls. He'd done a good run out up until that point as well.
Yeah, it was not a difficult 9-ball. It was just, it felt like he rushed it. But as you say, you know, he kind of plays on instinct, maybe a bit of a rhythm player, and he felt like he was in his rhythm. Well, got to shake it off and forget about it. Move on.
Well, that is going to rub salt in the wounds. You can see the power he's got though, so moving forward, expect a lot of power on the Hernandez break, but it's going to be ball in hand for Oscar.
Yeah, definitely not what you wanted to follow up that last game with. Yeah, he was hoping to redeem himself with a nice break and maybe even a run out or at least a good safety, but that's not what he was looking for.
Yeah, and the fact that Oscar can put the cue ball there with ball in hand really helps him out here. Needs an angle on the red 3, which he's got. That just means he can come back over to the opposite side of the table for the pink 4. Orange 5 will go in the same pocket. I find it really unusual how you can wear earphones and play pool.
Yeah, that is an unusual allowance. That's most pool tournaments you cannot get away with that.
I want to know what he's listening to. That's what we really want to know.
What's on Oscar's playlist?
Yeah, we could do with finding out. Well, we'll see how he plays first.
That's a nice touch. He had a kind of a narrow window to play for that side of the 9-ball. It was kind of a narrow window, but he's landed on this pretty good.
Yeah, didn't want the bump on the brown 7. Does it go past the 9? Or does he have to play a cutback? If it goes past the 9, he's been a bit fortunate, Oscar.
Yeah, if that 7 wouldn't have passed the 9, this could be an entirely different outcome, but no problem for Oscar.
Yeah, just drawing the cue ball back. Kept the cue ball away from the rail as well, so this makes this 9 a 10 out of 10.
Oscar with a nice run out after Frankie's scratch on the break, so really putting maximum punishment on Frankie's mistakes here. 2-0, race to 10.
Yeah, it just shows you, Kevin, doesn't it? You know, when Oscar played the poor positional shot, then the safety went wrong. Hernandez comes to the table, and you know, you're watching a guy who flies around the table and who looks to make it look pretty easy at times, and then just missing the 9 ball, then he's broke, scratched. Now he's 2 down. It's amazing how just one little thing like that can just change the complexion or the start of a match. And now you feel Hernandez has got a bit of work to do to try and turn this one around.
Of course, he has to start with hoping Oscar doesn't make a ball on the break. He's made the 1 in the side. Is he going to have a shot on the 2?
Yeah, he very nearly made the cue ball as well in the side where Hernandez did in the previous. Don't know if the bank shot's available into this low left corner. If not, he'll run the cue ball down towards that brown 7. It's actually a really easy safety, and he's very good in the safety department, Oscar. Just a bit too thin. Yeah, he always had that red 3 ball, the orange and the brown to help him get cover.
Yeah, he had a few ways to get Frankie hooked, and hooked he is.
Two rail kick and stick.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, job well done. Yeah, good shot.
If the 6 blocks the pocket, then he's all right. But that 2 ball might pass the 6. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, and if it doesn't pass, the safety, nothing obvious stands out. If you play off the left edge, that brown 7 looks quite a big ball, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You're trying to just roll forward. Yeah, bank it up and down. It's not bad. Sometimes you just got to play them type of safeties.
Yeah, you know you're not going to hook them, but just leave them distance, leave them on the rails, the best you can do.
Yeah, exactly. Like you say, when you get the cue ball on the rail as well, that takes a lot of the spin shots away from your opponent. Yeah, he's just looking at banking the blue 2 near the 8 ball. And then the cue ball hopefully drops in behind the pink 4. Didn't hit it full enough. That's gone wrong.
This looks like a pretty straightforward bank to the side, and the 3 ball's right there. Short. Is he going to leave a shot? He
Yeah,
is.
we said this before, didn't we, Kevin? You know, the tables, the cloth looks a little worn, so the bank shots are going to play a little shorter.
All right, good opportunity for Frankie here to get a game back.
It looks quite thin, this. He's got to avoid the scratch.
Oh, I guess it was a little thinner than I thought.
This has all just gone really, really wrong. If you've ever wanted to start a match again, he'd love to, wouldn't he?
If ever you could just hit the reset button.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine if he could do that.
Go back to
You
your
know, like
last...
one, yeah, like sort of one, you know, like one match per tournament. He was allowed to hit the reset and just start again.
You go back to your last save point in the game.
Yeah, I think you'd definitely be hitting that button. So often you kind of feel like when you make a glaring out, everything seems to land a little funny for a few racks after as well. It doesn't seem to come easy after that. You don't seem to get away with it. The game seems to just punish you.
Yeah, it's like the balls know. Somehow they know.
Yeah, that's right. They just know, don't they? And obviously Oscar knows now, so he's going to be playing a lot more freer as well. He feels like he's got away with one in rack one. This is just the ideal start.
Yeah, Oscar just cleaning up. Takes full advantage. 3-0 lead in this race to 10.
Ghost had an easy first round win. He won 10-1, so he's through to round 2, winner's side action, where he'll play Donnie Mills. Things will get a little tougher there for Fedor Ghost.
Oh, that's a good match.
BJ Ussery, he's through to winner's round action. He's going to play Albania's Nick Malai. Good to see Nick Malai over there in the States, playing some of the events. Sanjin Perlovanovic, he's going to be playing Gary Serrano. This is all winners round 2 action. Claudio Cacci, the younger brother to Eklund Cacci, he's playing Matt Megara. Skylar Woodward, 10-9 win. I watched a little bit of that match earlier on, Kevin, over Sean Dobson.
Wow, that was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. All right, he's got a good break. Oh, his 6th ball has to come up and ruin the party. It's always the last ball rolling.
And we were just talking about this, the balls are punishing him, they know. Frankie, we've not forgot about that 9 ball you missed, pal. You're going to have to work for this. That's usually what you've got to do. You've got to come with a couple of nice shots. I wonder if you can get the cue ball in behind that orange 5. Sneak it. Yeah, here we go. He's come to have a look. How big's the gap?
Yeah, possibly 9 ball is extra cover in case you don't get behind the 9. So he's got a decently large target.
It's all about speed. As you said, Kevin, 9 ball is fine as well.
Oscar is no stranger with the jump cue. Is he going to use the jump cue on this one? He sure looks like it. Good hit, but that's going to leave a pretty nice shot for Frankie to get started with. Three ball's in a rough spot, though.
Yeah, if he pulls the cue ball back about 2 feet, he can cut the red 3 in, which would mean he could possibly leave a thin cut on the pink 4, but then it's getting from the pink 4 to the orange 5. This is what Nineball's all about. It's all about trying to figure these angles out and these routes.
Yeah, what you're saying is kind of draw the cue ball back to kind of like the angle he has right now on the 3 would be about the angle he needs after shooting this 2.
Yeah, he didn't like it, so he's took a risk here. And a lot of it, you don't really see that with a lot of the top players. You know, the Shane Van Bonings, the Fillers. They'd rather play a shot, if that makes sense. He's kind of like took a gamble and tried to sort of draw the cue ball back over there and just make something happen, but you're relying on a little bit of luck playing it like that.
And he did get some luck, but it wasn't good luck.
And he's got himself jacked up over the 8. And when you look at where the balls are set, you can see how tricky the shot is that he's faced with now. Very difficult to get the red 3 safe and try and get a good cue ball. Yeah, from where he was, it's not going to be ideal, this, because I think Oscar can play the cross bank to the opposite side pocket. Double hit, I think, Kevin, did he?
Maybe we can see it on a replay, maybe.
Yeah, I think the cue ball just flicked the red 3.
I think it did. I think you called that one.
Listen, Kevin, it might be past midnight in England, but my eyes are still working. Don't worry about my eyes. That's nice.
Actually, the truth of the matter is I look for any excuse at all to play with the replay stuff. That's really what it was. It was just an excuse to play with the toys.
To be honest, it's actually really good how quick you can do that.
Alright, nice safety there by Frankie.
Yeah, he's just he needs a little bit here, doesn't he? Just sizing up the 1 rail kick. He could pot it past the brown 7.
Oh, nice.
Or pot the brown 7.
And he's gonna get a shot on the 3. Remember what I said about looking for any excuse to play with the replay? Any excuse at all.
Yeah, I think he knew the brown 7. I think he felt like, listen, things can move, you never know. It was always in the back of his mind that that's a little thin one, but he's took care of that. Well, this is just, it's just all gone wrong since Frankie's missed the 9-ball in the first rack. Even that particular shot there, he played a good hook, didn't he? And Oscar's kicked out of it. He's made the 7.
Frankie's probably thinking, yeah, if it was me kicking it to 3, he probably would have double kissed and left a dead 9-ball or something somewhere. Yeah, it's just not going right for Frankie at all.
Yeah, and I feel like this sort of table, the way it sets up, I think Oscar likes it. I think it suits his game, you know, like where the cloth's a little worn and there's a lot of chalk on the slate and you can play with a lot of side off the rails. I think it really suits his style.
Well, Oscar extending his lead 4-0 in this race to 10 with a little help of that very nice kick shot kicking out of Frankie's safety.
Well, Kevin, remember our match earlier on between Ruiz and Payne McBride kept popping his head
Yeah.
into our view to say hello. He's still playing that match. He's on the hill. He's 9-7 up against Justin Palech.
Speaking of still playing, are Ralph Sakay and Earl Strickland still playing?
No, Suke got the match. I actually watched the end of that match during our little break. He won very convincing, and I think it was it 10-3? 10-3, I think.
Oh, Ralph caught a gear.
Yeah, he caught a gear. Also, Sam Henderson and Loho Sum there tied up 2 apiece.
Oh, no.
Oh, the
All right.
cue ball, yeah, kicked.
Oh, look at this.
Can we see a replay of that?
You know it.
I know you was
Anything for you.
desperate to show the replay. Yeah, I wanted to see if it come off the 9. Yeah, it come off the top side of the 9.
All right, just what Frankie needs. Ball in hand with a really nice layout.
Yeah, the big shot is the shot he was just sizing up there. It's just getting right on the red 3. And then from the red 3 to the pink 4 ball, this is where I feel like if it's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong now. He's got to be careful where the orange 5 is here.
Well, you mentioned the 5 and he bumped into it, and I don't know that that was a good bump because he's made it a little bit harder.
Yeah, just flick the 8, but I think that's still okay. I have to play the cue ball off 2 rails now instead of 1. Yeah, he could hold it okay. Played on the short side of the 7. He does not hang about, does he, Frankie?
No, he sees what he wants to do and he takes care of business. All right, Frankie on the scoreboard, 4-1, stops the bleeding a little bit, gets 1 game back, 4-1, race to 10.
Yeah, and that could not cut him at a better time. That's just what he needed. And he's going to get the break in rack number 6. Eckley catches won the first 4 in his match. He's 4-1 up against Corey Cooper. Obviously this tournament's in Philadelphia. There's a lot of American players, but it's good to see a lot of American names in the field. Shane Wolford 4-0 up over Angel Castaneda. Okay, we've seen the break before. He has a lot of power. Another good break. And he does have a look at this 1 ball. The blue 2 is the ball next to the cue ball. He's just looking, can he play the cue ball forward off 2 rails, miss the 8 and come kind of in the gap off the 2nd rail? Or is he drawing it? Oh, this is nice. I like this shot. That is a beautiful positional shot. I think it deserves a replay, Kevin. Look at that. Just look at the gap he found there. It was absolutely pinpoint position.
Now he's got to dodge some traffic to get to this 3-ball.
Yeah, even though the 3 ball's over the pocket, it's not as easy as you think to sort of land on it, is it?
Yeah, he's got to ask his GPS for the optimal route to get there.
Wow,
Well,
I think he's just done it.
He's got a shot on the 3. That's the important thing.
Yeah, that was always the problem. He couldn't find a natural path for the cue ball. He always felt like he was going to hit another ball.
He's still a little awkward. Not quite back in line yet.
Yeah, delicately played, just held for the orange 5. Not scared to let the cue ball fly. I like watching that style of play.
He likes
Also,
to...
you feel a bit on edge, don't you, when you're watching Frankie Hernandez? Because you think, is he going to make a mistake? Is he going to miss? He just gets on with it very fast.
Yeah, he always leave him guessing. Leaves us guessing. Sometimes I think he's guessing.
Yeah, and right on cue. Look at where he's left the cue ball here. This is a horrible shot on the 9. These are tricky into the side pocket.
Oh, nicely done. All right. Can let out a sigh of relief there. Got that 9-ball down. Closes up that gap. Gets the game back. Trails 2 games to 4. Race to 10.
Yeah, it wasn't a conventional run out with a cue ball, but he made it exciting for us to watch.
I don't know. Would you rather watch someone who lets the cue ball go a little bit and makes it exciting, or would you rather watch someone who just plays pinpoint perfect position on every shot?
I'd rather watch somebody like Frankie, to be honest, just because you never quite know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen.
No. But obviously, when you watch somebody who's so clinical, you can just appreciate it a little bit more.
Yep.
Well, first glance, it looks to be dry. We'll get another look in a minute. Yes, it is.
Well, he does have some balls to hide behind over here if he wants to try safety.
Yeah, there's a lot of options with safety here. there's no real need to attack the table here just because he can't really control the cue ball when he pots it. He's got options galore here. Kinda don't mind banking this one ball up towards the top left corner. Not quite near the corner, but you know, trying to hit the second rail halfway up. That gets the cue ball over near the pink. That's an option. There's loads of options here.
The way he was lining up his cue, I think he was planning on. It looked like he was planning on running out. No, he's just playing safe. All right.
I think out of all the options, that was the worst choice of them.
Yeah, that didn't work out for Frankie. Hasn't really left a shot, but he has let Oscar see the ball.
Yeah, the problem with Frankie's shot there, he's only got the pink 4 to land behind. But if you look at all the balls on the table, like now for instance, look how close Oscar's left the one near the pocket. The cue ball flicked the 8, and he's still got the hook.
Yeah, there's like 4 balls between the 1 and the cue ball. He had plenty of balls to get hidden behind. He's missed the ball. Ball in hand for Oscar.
I mean, when the ball's over the pocket practically, I mean, top level players are going to hit it 100 out of 100, so he'll be kicking himself there. The fact he can put the cue ball where he wants just means this positional shot is a lot easier for Oscar. Watch out, 7. It's alright.
How does that 3-9 look?
I don't know if, yeah, I was just going to say, you took the words right out of my mouth. I think it sets up pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, here we go.
Oscar
Red
seems
3
to think
to the 9.
he seems to think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think this is wired, Kevin.
Taking full advantage of that miss by Frankie. 5-2.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder, you know, before Frankie went to kick the 1, did he spot the 3-9 combo? Because all the balls looked a little clustered, didn't they? But literally 2 shots on and Oscar's won the rack.
Another dry break. Yeah, Oscar you can see this one. Can't do much with it except play safe unless he wants to try to play this billiard, which no, he does not want to play that.
I believe he's left the gap.
Yeah, that's not just a window. That's like a double French door.
He's left the old double French door. What has he left though, really? Is he trying to bank it up? Well, obviously the cue ball hitting the 9 is not what Frankie Hernandez played. I think he was trying to get the cue ball back up towards the orange ball for distance. You know, when you're playing someone like Oscar, you're going to get out-thought a lot of time, out-manoeuvred.
Oscar making the proper adjustment from the last time you missed that cross-side bank. He went to school, as Scott would say, and made the adjustment.
Play the cue ball off 2 rails here, left rail, down for the 6. 1 rail might be a little more dangerous just because you've got to judge the pace. I mean, it's still okay, but 2 rails is guaranteed. Yeah, see, 1 rail, it's just a bit weird, 1 rail. Has he fluked the 9?
He has. And he will take it 6-2, and you know what that deserves? That deserves a replay.
I knew it was coming. Yeah, you see 1 rail there, just coming down into them gaps. It's a little bit funny, but this time it's not funny for Frankie because he flukes the 9 ball.
But it counts just as good as a run out. Oscar in full control now. Smells blood in the water.
Yeah, it was a big old fluke. But, you know, Frankie made a mistake in the rack. I always feel like if you've had a visit to the table and you've made a mistake, you've got no one else to blame. Players seem to be struggling with this break.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of dry breaks on this table.
Yeah, FSR and Martin match earlier on, very similar.
Looks like you can see just the edge of this. He's got to get down and give it the old one-eyed squint.
Yeah, if you can see the edge, you can certainly clip off it and just get distance. He's playing the push. Doesn't look like Oscar's even thought about handing this back. He's happy to take this.
Yeah, I hate this shot. I would I'd probably be handing this one back because yeah. He almost got the safety, but that was a tough shot.
Yeah, maybe Frankie knows something we don't because Oscar's butchered that one. This will cut into the left corner. Needs the cue ball to roll in, needs some help. I think he's got some.
Oh, don't tell me he's left the gap again.
Yeah, I don't think he can get through that where the 8 and the 6 is. I think he's looking at the bottom rail.
Well, that's a nice little shot.
Yeah, very good. It's worked out very, very well, hasn't it? I think you can only go off the bottom rail as well, Kevin. I don't think you can get off the top rail, can you? Because of the red ball. So he's played it lefty, just relying on a little bit of the pool gods. Has he got any love?
Oscar's getting down awfully quick. This one ball must go on the side.
Yeah, there you see it. Looks like he's got a nice angle here. He can come up the right hand side of the table. He'll probably use 2 rails. That's quite short of pace though. You wanted that to be a lot higher.
Yeah, he's landed pretty awkward on this to get back up for the 4. And that is the pink 4 up there by the 9, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it is bottom rail. He's swerving that ball a little bit, you know. Not another fluke 9,
No.
surely. Oh my word!
Wow.
Oh, I thought he'd done it. Look how deep the 9 is. Kevin, admit it, you had your finger on the replay button there. It's there, he's doing it anyway. Look at that, how did it not fall in the end?
Oscar thought he made it. He was already apologizing. Is he trying to draw back into the 9?
Still,
He is.
yeah, I think he is.
All right.
Oh,
Here
that
we
was
go.
very sexy. I like it a lot.
That was very nice. 7-2 in this race to 10. And you gotta feel like everything's just kind of going Oscar's way this match.
Yeah, and it often does, doesn't it? When you make a glaring error like that, I know it's only 1 rack, but you know, it never feels like 1 rack, does it? Because the second rack, Frankie broke and scratched, Oscar run the table, and then it just all starts to slip away. But he's played a few loose, a few strange safeties in this match, Frankie. Maybe the next shot's been his best shot of the match, the break shot.
Alright, let's go, Frankie. Is this another dry break? It is. He's got a shot on the 1 to the corner, 2 balls hanging over the pocket, 3 ball, possibly pass the 5 to the corner, maybe in that side pocket. Depends how he gets on the 2.
Yeah, you can swing the cue ball round off 2 or 3 rails. Just make sure you leave yourself a shot on this blue too. I think this pot's a lot thinner than we believe though.
Yeah, these camera angles are so deceiving on shots like that.
Well, he's left a lot of distance here now.
Yeah, if he's playing for the 3 in the side, I think this is kind of hard to control from this distance. Unless you hit it like that.
Yeah, I think he just decided to take a bit of a gamble, didn't he? Just send the cue ball into everything. See what happens.
Well, is that 3 in the side, is that still on, or is this too thin a cut, too small a target from this angle? Yeah, as I said, these camera angles are so deceiving. That was a nice bank shot by Oscar. Not out of the woods yet. He's got to come with another nice shot.
He's feeling good. He's going for everything.
That he is.
Cue ball needs to go here though.
Did not get there. Is he going to leave a shot? No, he is not.
Yeah, it's not the story of this match, is it? The story of the match is he's going to get away with one. I think in the back of his mind, he was trying to leave the orange 5 on the bottom centre-ish area of the rail. You know, if he misses that bank, I think he just hit it a little bit too hard, that was all.
But Oscar came out smelling rosy.
Yeah, I don't know if he can squeeze it past the 8 ball either. Oh, good hit.
So can he just float this 5 in the side and just drift down for the 6 ball, or is it too thin for that? These angles deceive me.
Yeah, I think he can pot it, but I think it's really thin, so he can't hold. He'd have to be hit with some pace. Cue ball's going to be flying up and down. Yeah, here we go.
Well, he's got to look at the 6.
Yeah, I suppose that's all he could ask for, Kevin, couldn't it? Whenever you're taking a gamble, I mean, sometimes you've just got to get down and sort of whack the potting, do you know what I mean?
Sometimes you just got to hit and hope, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, just pot the ball and you know the cue ball's going to fly up and down and see what the table gives you. But he actually left himself not a bad shot on the green 6.
Is he going for the bank? What's he looking at?
He's a very crafty player, is Oscar. He's always trying to find that sort of little attacking two-way safety shot. That's what he was trying there. He's almost hit it a little bit too good. Just because he caught the jaw where he did. I suppose there's a bit of distance here.
And I think that just kind of sums up this match.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think after that 9-ball that Frankie missed, it's just been a grind ever since. And I think even Oscar feels that as well, because some of his shots he's just airing on a bit more of the dangerous zone.
Yeah, just kind of freewheeling a little bit more than he might normally. 8-2, race to 10. Extends his lead, takes advantage yet again. Speaking of taking advantage, I invite all of our viewers to take advantage of hitting that thumbs up button. And while you're at it, subscribe.
Yeah, plenty more action to come, as always.
I was wondering if maybe the players took a little break, but nope, we're carrying on.
Yeah, it's going to be Dominguez to break. 8-2.
Alright, one on the
See
side.
the 1-ball.
And oh, he's got a shot on the 2.
Yeah, red 3-ball goes in the same pocket as the blue 2. Gonna need an angle on this red 3 though. Pink 4. He's in a funny little spot. Doesn't go past the green 6.
Yeah, getting good on this 4 is key, and that's not it.
He just seemed to let up on the shot there. He didn't deliver the cue through positively, really. Just sort of stopped.
He's feeling good though. He's going for it.
None of them backdoor sort of pots where he knows he's going to get a good cue ball and leave it safe as well.
Yeah, a little bit of a two-way shot there.
Not easy for Frankie. He knows he's had a few opportunities in this match. Probably feels like he's got one foot into the loser's side of the draw as well.
Can he see enough of this 4 to cut this in?
I think he can, but he's getting on the orange 5, isn't it? That's the problem. So he might just send the 4 round and play the hook. Well, tried to pot it. It's funny, isn't it? You know, he's 8-2 up. He's playing Frankie Hernandez. No disrespect to Frankie at all, but you know, if this match was like 6-all, even against Frankie, to be fair, I just don't believe he plays the shot he attempted. It's funny how the scoreline can dictate certain shots you play.
Yeah, I agree. If the score was, if this wasn't the score, I don't think we'd be seeing, entirely different shot selections from Oscar, and probably taking a lot more time too.
Yeah, if it was like 5 apiece, I'm convinced he'd have played the hook there. Watch outside pocket.
Slow down, cue ball. All right, Frankie gets one back, trails 8-3, race to 10. So you said you know Frankie. Does he normally play this fast, or is he playing a little bit faster because he's behind and he feels like he has to hurry up and win some games?
No, he plays pretty quick like this, to be fair. He likes to sort of just get on with it, play, sort of play the first thing that comes to his mind. I've not seen him play for a long time, though, to be fair.
So
the chat in some of the 8-ball events that we played in the World Pool Series back in New York, back a good few years.
Mm-hmm. So the chat wants to know if you're ever going to play pool again.
If I'm going to play pool again, ooh. I mean, I'm not ruling out not picking the queue up again, but playing full time, sort of like you've got to do to beat these guys and to win tournaments, it's highly unlikely, I would say. But maybe the odd tournament here and there. We'll swing the queue about a bit, see what can happen.
Yeah, sorry, the truth of the matter is Railbirds just pays Karl way too much money for him to be interested in playing pool anymore. He's going to retire on what we pay him.
And your replays are far too good. I don't want to miss them ever. Can he see a piece of this ball, or is he going rail first? Oh, he's played a clever safety here. I like it. No, joking aside, when you're going back to like playing, it's not just sort of showing up and playing in the tournaments. It's you've got to put so much work in away from the table. Just playing matches is just a kind of snippet of it, really. It's all the practice sessions you've got to put in, and playing tournament after tournament to get that winning feeling back in your game. The beauty of this, Kevin, is we can just sit here and just pretend we've never missed a ball.
That is true. I've never missed a shot from over here, but I do still scratch on the break from time to time from the commentator's chair.
It's funny though, when obviously since I started commentating, I've never watched as much Q Sports in my life, so I feel like when I did start, when I have played in a few events, or I've played a few matches against some of the top pros on my YouTube channel, I feel like the safety side of it, I see things a lot clearer. I always felt like my safety game back in the day was terrible, but now, because I've watched so much pool, I feel like my safety game's gone up a notch or two.
Yeah, especially when you commentate on the pool, because when you're doing commentary, you really study the table a lot more than maybe even you do when you're actually at the table yourself. So, picking apart these racks as a commentator helps your playing game.
Yeah, absolutely. And, obviously very lucky to commentate on the best that do it. So you learn so much just by watching. Let's see if we can learn something here. Pink 4-ball is the big ball here for Frankie.
Yeah, both of these bottom corner pockets are blocked, so there's probably going to be a combination in Frankie's near future.
There you go, Kevin. You're learning, you see. Although you didn't want the cue ball on the rail, that just means your position is going to be a little tougher now. Because if the cue ball was off the rail, you can manipulate that white ball a lot more. Now he can only hit the top of the cue ball. Oh, that was a little bit rushed.
Yeah, I felt like maybe frustration was part of the reason for that miss.
Yep, I think you're right. I think he was not happy where he left the cue ball. How's the pace? It's got to go.
I can't tell if that 4 goes to that corner or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he was playing for the other corner, obviously. It was just so difficult to judge the pace of the ball. I suppose the main thing is you can see a piece of the ball. It's not full ball hooked.
That is the important thing.
Oh, has he made it?
Oh, nice try.
Wow. Yeah, but look at what he's left. He's going to have to play the jump shot here. He can't even go rail first. He has been severely punished for his mistakes this match.
Yeah. Frankie just can't buy a roll at a bakery.
Big favourite to make the jump shot. You just don't know where the cue ball's going to end up. You don't know where it's going to end up.
This isn't terrible. Pretty straightforward bank on the 5, or even possibly a cut to the side. I can't tell from this angle which is better.
Yeah, this will go in that side, okay. Anywhere centre of the table here. Get yourself as straight as you can on the combo. Make life easy for yourself. Surely he's not going to try and get the cue ball there.
I think he's looking to play the 8-ball and not the 8-9 combo.
Wow, okay.
That's exactly what he's doing. Did he get there?
He's actually played it beautifully.
I mean, I know pool players hate shooting combinations, but I think you had to shoot that one. Unless you can hit this ball as good as he did.
Yeah, I mean, he really showed his the talent that he can do on a pool table there. It's beautiful.
That was a nice shot from the 7 to the 8. And with that, he gets one back again, closes up that gap, trails by 4 games, 8-4.
Low Ho Sum has took a 7-5 lead over the young American Sam Henderson.
Sounds like a good match going on over on that feature table.
Yeah, that's a close one. It's got all the recipe for a hill over there. Okay, back to the action here. And Oscar to break, and he's made the 1 ball. The 2 balls flying round. I think the cue ball is up here as well. So we'll see what he's faced with. Well, he's faced with good things here.
Opposite-handed, came up a little short. Bit of a tester here to get on the 4.
Oh, he killed the ball there.
He killed it
Really
too much.
nice, didn't he? Yeah, he had a big angle there.
Did that slow drag draw stroke. He killed it too much. Handled it nicely. Get off the rail.
Yeah, I think he can go forward off a couple of rails. You always feel like these racks are important just to get yourself on the hill as well, don't you? 9-4, you'd feel like it's going to be over for Frankie, but 8-5, Frankie would have the break in the next rack. So with a break and run, he could get back to 8-6. It just shows you how big of a difference it can be. I think you can see with Oscar just taking a little bit more time, staying a little bit longer down on the shot. Oh, and he's miscued. Oh my word.
And he's left it pretty decent for Frankie. It looks like he does have a little bit of angle. I think.
I can't believe he's miscued there though. That is wild.
Okay, he did not have as much angle as I thought. Short side on E8. Nice. Whoa, cue ball. Whoa, cue ball.
Watch out, cue ball. He's going to scratch.
Wow.
Wow, what a mistake that is for Hernandez. First of all, Dominguez with a miscue. And then Frankie Hernandez just gifts it straight back.
Yeah, they do have the rule you're not allowed to concede games, but we won't tell anyone if you don't.
I mean, listen, you can wear earphones. I mean, come on.
If you can wear earbuds, you can concede games, right?
I mean, Frankie Hernandez must be sick there because he had half a chance of coming back in the match there. I don't feel he's got a chance now, though.
Yeah, if Frankie, if he wins that game there, it's 8-5 and breaking. Yeah, he's still right in it.
Yeah, it's funny how it can just, you know, these little things in a game of pool where momentum can just switch over, but you just feel like it's all over now. It would take a real special performance to come back here. Dry break.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, it seems to be the story of the matches so far. Oh, great pot there. Well, fortune favours the brave, and he's on the blue too there.
Everything's going right for Oscar. Everything's going wrong for Frankie.
Yeah, even when Oscar miscues, it doesn't matter. He's still going to win the rack. Yeah, that's ideal. He's just got that little angle.
All right, 3 balls away from the win. Oscar going to get his extension, I believe.
Yeah, a little stretchy one. Yeah, played that nice. Cue ball's ideal. It's been a good match. It's been an interesting match. It's been strange in parts. We've seen some flawless stuff, some genius stuff, and then things a little bit weird.
Yeah, it's had a little bit of everything. All right, Oscar Dominguez, former Moscone U.S. team member, is going to advance to round 2, defeating Frankie Hernandez 10-4. We are still in the double elimination portion of this tournament, so Frankie still in. He's not out. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm Kevin Ross along with Karl Boyce. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace out. See you soon.
See you guys.